morning, friends. In a field like oncology, not much goes out because very little is in. So most of the things are coming in. And as Dr. Mullaji said, every bit of technology which is used for the standard replacement is useful in oncology as well. Conceptually has changed in oncology is the customization. So we are now customizing the treatment based on tumor, based on the patient's requirements, and based on what is available in terms of technology. We saw this in the previous talks as well. So every aspect of our armamentarium, whether it is surgery, whether it's the drugs and the chemotherapy or the radiation that we use, is now customized as per the tumor as well as the patient. The margins, which initially we said 3 centimeters is sacrosanct in the bone, can be narrowed down to much smaller margins with modern imaging, which is able to judge the response to chemotherapy. So you can see in this case, a narrower margin allows us to save the growth plate. It's quite easy in this case to do this under C-arm. But if you had a case of a pelvis where the anatomy is much more complex, then you need guidance and navigation, particularly if it can be combined with intra-op imaging, like the 3D C-arm, O-arm, or a CT scan can actually make things very precise and quick because of the auto-registration. So in complex pelvic tumors, one can go close to the tumor without compromising the margin. And this has now become the standard of care for most complicated pelvic tumors. Things that were not considered resectable are now resectable with function preservation. Many of the pelvic tumors, fortunately, don't require this expensive setup of navigation. You have patient-specific cutting guides, and these can be made locally within India at very affordable costs. You can see in this particular case, you have access only from the outside, so you put in the guide and cut from the outside, though you don't see anything from the inner table. So this is a classic example of a secondary chondrosarcoma, which is overhanging the hip. You can save the hip provided you know where you want to cut. So we got a 3D model done. You can see the cutting guide on the pelvis, and on the inner side of the pelvis where there is no tumor, you can easily put in this guide, take the bony cuts, free the tumor, and get it out without compromising the margin and still preserving the hip as well as the pelvic ring. 3D printed implants actually has made limb salvage now extended indications into situations where otherwise we used to struggle. This is a 4-year-old girl, and we could get a specific plate to do this ECRT for the distal tibia. These custom plates actually help us, say, in growth preservation from the physis when the distal segment is very narrow, or they help speed surgery in pelvic ECRTs where we radiate and put back the pelvis, and they shorten the reconstruction time by fitting precisely. The biggest advantage of the 3D printing is the surface that can be created for osseointegration. This is a huge asset in pelvic reconstruction. This particular Ewing sarcoma, which had recurred after a full dose of radiation, we really did not have any other reconstruction method. We could resect this tumor, put in this large pelvic prosthesis. This is at 10 months. And you can see this CT, actually you can see bone ingrowth into the implant despite the full dose of radiation. Again, this is changing the way we are looking at things in oncology. We are now also thinking of going much closer. You want to preserve the growth plate in tumors that are going almost up to the growth plate or even touching the growth plate. Canadell showed that if you distract the physis, it's a good barrier. You can leave the growth plate along with the epiphysis, and you can still resect the tumor without compromising the margin. In the first stage, you do the distraction. 10 days later, you go ahead and do the resection. This is an example where in the proximal humerus, after chemotherapy, good response, we distracted the proximal growth plate. Then we went down. You can see that you can cut the perichondrium, and you can actually see the growth plate on the epiphysis. Then you radiate this piece of bone that has been resected, and you can put it back, and you can see the preservation of the humeral head and the humeral physis. What is actually changing oncology is now the fact that we know more about the tumor from the genetic profiling. We've got specific monoclonal antibodies now which can subtype these tumors into different categories, and this is very important because we now have targeted therapy against specific tumors. Two classic examples, you can see this huge dermatofibrosarcoma as well as a desmoid fibromatosis, both treated with a simple tyrosine kinase inhibitor like imatinib, and both with excellent results. You have now antibodies or drugs against these NTRK fusions, which you see in infantile fibrosarcomas, which were very difficult to treat earlier, used to get amputated. You can see that now these tumors will regress, and these are not specific to a particular tumor. Metastatic disease showing these mutations can be treated with these drugs, and these patients can expect to live a long time like we have our lung cancers. So the whole concept now in oncology is never give up, try to find out one target that, and these patients are going to live a long time. Thank you.
Thank you.